Hey, what's up everyone? This is Josh again with another tutorial. Today we're going to go over one of the most widely requested topics that I've been seeing in Discord, YouTube comments, and Instagram, and that's going to be Aviator connectors. So if you're a part of the mechanical keyboard scene, you follow some people on Instagram or whatnot, you've definitely seen these connectors before, right? So today I'm going to show you how I add them to my cables, as well if you're interested in making your own cables or are just interested in how it works. This is going to be a great video to show you how that all happens. But yeah, let's go hop into this. So Aviator connectors, right? I'm not too sure of like the full background behind them, but definitely we see these as kind of the most common quick disconnect connectors on the market at the moment. So this is a great way, say if you have like a USB-C device, USB mini device, and instead of swapping out your whole cable, you can just swap out one end of these connectors to do that. But let's be honest, like a lot of us kind of use them for more of an aesthetic, and it's kind of cool, like seeing like a metal piece on your table, right? So yeah, for me, my preference is usually with the smaller connectors, so like this GX12 over here, or the YC8 over there. But we see the most popular one that a lot of cable makers are using nowadays is the GX16. So today I'm going to show you how that's done. So yeah, just before we start here, I'm using a GX16 Aviator connector. That's 4-pin. All right. So let's go hop over to the work table. Hello. All right, cool. So yeah, let me show you the connectors real quick. This is the GX16 we're gonna be using today. So here's an Aviator connector, pretty neat, this one's nice and hefty. And there's this little threaded part that comes apart, and from there you can disconnect the connector. Let me show you while we're here the GX12. A little slimmer, actually significantly slimmer, and it's the same mechanism. You unscrew it, and it comes apart, and you see the same mechanisms as you do in the GX16. While we're here, I'll show you like the YC8. So this is more like a push-pull. So I can disconnect it with this little spring-loaded here. 4 pins in there as well. Connect that again. And the ultimate end game, which is the 4-pin Molex. Definitely check this out. It's pretty sweet. 4 pins. It's a great connector. All right. So anyways, let's go into this. So today I have a cable. I pre-sleeved it and everything. I'll link a video to just general cable making in general in the description. So if you want to check that out and you haven't seen that yet, make sure to check that out first. So here I have a sleeved cable. I soldered on the USB mini side as well as a USB-A side already, so that's done. I have some heat shrink that we'll be using for kind of cleaning up and making sure that stuff is secure. I have a heat gun. I have the Aviator connector, of course, that I'll be using. Let me clean this off real quick. And I have a small screwdriver because we'll be needing this to disassemble our connectors. And also, of course, I have like a soldering iron and a solder vent and also helping hands here, just to help out here. Cool. Let's see what we got next. So the first thing I'm going to do is sleeve and ship the cable. So I've spent the time to do that already. This takes me, anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes to do. So make sure you do that first. And again, check out that video if you haven't seen that, if you're interested in learning more. But yeah, let's start with the connector here. I'm going to first disassemble the connector. So we see there's a lot of like little screws in here. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew that real quick. Let me move my lights a little. It's a little better there. All right, so we're going to unscrew this. Make sure you don't lose any of these because they're like super small. So let me get this part out. These end parts are used to secure the cable once you're finished reassembling the connector at the end. So make sure you keep that. 2 little screws. I usually keep them together in sets here so I don't lose them. I'll put it right here for now. Sometimes there's one on the actual connector itself, so I'm going to unscrew that as well. And you will see this will come apart, and you will see the part where we will be soldering in a moment here. Yeah, just like that. Pretty simple, right? So I'll put this over here. Whoops. And then I'll do the same thing with the female side. Yeah, that's the female side. All right, let's unscrew this real quick. Yeah, this is it's a fun process as part of it. It's just got to be done. And I will say, regarding like securing the cable afterwards, these little I don't even know what you call them, clamps, are really nice and pretty easy to work with. I just think aviators in general are really easy to work with as connectors, so definitely recommend if you're gonna get into your first like detachable connector for cables, aviators are really the way to go. Cool. So here's the female side. That's kind of what it looks like. Sweet. All right, that's done. What's the next step here? Boom. Heatshrink the cable. So this is one thing that we see with other cables is that you see heat shrink under the connector as the cable connects with it. So I'm gonna do that here because I think it does look cool, and also it's just a nice way to keep the tech flex in place if you're using that on your cable. So here I have two pre-cut heat shrink pieces. I do one cut that's a 1/2 inch longer for the male side because if you notice the connector housings are quite different in size, so that is why. All right, let me go heat shrink this on real quick. Open this up. Get around the tech flex here. Cool, let me undo this actually. So then I grab my heat gun and I'm going to heat shrink this onto my connector. Well, not connector, but the cable itself. Here we go. So why I'm doing the long side on the male side is that, just to reiterate again, this is the longer side of the connector I'll be using. So shorter side I usually do female, on the longer side I usually do male. Cool, that looks fine for now. And then I'm gonna do the short side. Here we go. Part right here, open this up, put them in. All right, we are in it. Alright, so that looks pretty good there. I will say, so this here, I believe this is about what is this? This is about 1 inch in heat shrink here, and this one is about 1.5 inches. Alright, so we can go on to the next step here, which is slide the connector housing on the cable. Yeah, so since these are bigger connectors, this is kind of why I put the heat shrink on it, because there's quite a bit of clearance here. So if you're working with a smaller connector, usually I opt not to do the heat shrink here. But in the case of a GX16, I think it looks pretty. It makes it look a lot better as well. All right, let's slide this on. So this is the male side, and this is the female side. It's a little hot. There we go. Pretty easy. I'm also going to add a little small pieces of heat shrink here because I will be covering the solder points afterwards. I'll do that now. There we go. Make sure it doesn't get caught. There we go. We are in. And I'll do the same thing with the other side. I think this is optional, but usually sometimes your connectors will come with a little like plastic sleeve. But I just use heat shrink because I just find it easier and I always have it available. So it's a good option. Sweet. All right, that's done. Cool. All right, so let's go on to the next step here. We're going to tin the connectors. So I have my soldering iron on right now. I'm going to turn on my air vent, and we're going to tin these connectors. Let me hold these right here for now. There we go. All right, so I'm going to get my solder. Let me move this mic a little. Great. All right, so I'm going to add a little solder to these connectors already. Got some nice solder coverage on there, and here is the male side. Cool. Let's move forward now. So we're going to solder the wires onto these connectors. Let's open this a little bigger here. So there are numbers on the connectors. And this is kind of like my method to how I arrange the wires on the pins. So for one, I'll use ground, which is black. The second pin I will use D plus or data plus, which is I use white. For 3 I use D minus for green or yellow, and then 4 I use VCC. Typically people switch white and green or yellow or these two wires, but it's just kind of something I've gotten used to. So this is what I'll do for this example here. All right, let's head back. So I'm going to solder the wires onto these connectors now. All right. Gotta make sure we get some good coverage. Pull this up a little. There we go. And I'm going to heat shrink this down. Cool. All right. So what do we have next? So we heat shrink the solder points. That's kind of what I did here. And we're going to reassemble the connector. So let me start with this. I'm going to start with this male side here. So you see how the kind of the heat shrink slides over really nicely. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna reassemble it. Let me turn this off. Turn off my soldering iron. Give it a little screw here. All right. Come on. Where's my screwdriver? There you are. I'm gonna screw this back on. There we go. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this little clamp looking thing. Cool. Oh shoot. We're almost done here. Let's do this other side too. Looking pretty good. Alright, that's in place now. Alright, so there's one side of it. Looks pretty good. Maybe we might want to loosen it just to make sure it doesn't have that like little crimped effect, I guess. So this side's pretty good. And let's finish the other side. Put this out of the way. There we go. Get our small screw. Secure this connector again. And then I'm going to put these little screws on top to make sure it is secured. There we go, one side and the other. Cool. And there we have it. This is kind of it, actually. That concludes this tutorial. We have our connectors made. Let's put them together real quick. There we go. Screw together. Looking pretty good. Let me zoom out. Yeah, it's a pretty nice cable. Got it all the way in. Got 5 foot long part here. And we have a done cable here for you to use. Sweet. All right, so yeah, that kind of concludes the video here. Just in general, if you want to find me, I have Instagram. I'll link all these below. Definitely join the Discord if you're interested in having any questions answered or are curious about anything. Twitter, Twitch, I stream sometimes, as well as my website. And also, if you need any connectors, I usually have quite a few on hand, so feel free to shoot me a DM on Discord if you are interested in purchasing some Aviator connectors. In addition, I have some supplies that I use just for cable making in general linked below. So definitely check out the description, as well as these videos that I'll try to put a card somewhere here. And check out how to coil and how to make cables in general. So yeah, thanks again for watching this video. Hope it was helpful. Feel free to comment below if you have any suggestions for future videos, and please, if you can, like, comment, subscribe. Does great to kind of help me as I put more of these tutorial content on cables out there. As well as thank you for everyone who's subscribed so far. We've literally jumped up another 100 subscribers since the last video. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hope to see you around. Join the Discord. Would like to continue this chat. And yeah, thanks guys for watching, and make wise choices. Okay, bye.